My proud Nigerian moment is the fact that Nigerians, wherever they are, have diversity of tongues in a country with 36 states and over 250 languages.
My proud Nigerian moment is that we Nigerians, we can survive at any time, at any place.
Was when Choma Ajunwa won a gold medal in the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta.
It was when Two-Face Idibia and the Banch won BET Awards in 2011. We Nigerians are talented.
My proud Nigerian moment was when we were able to fight Ebola. Nigerians are strong and powerful people. We stand and fight together in hard times.
In African literature today, Nigerian literature is seen as one of the best. Wole Soyinka won the Nobel laureate, and today Chimamanda is making waves among other young writers. This is my proud moment.
Our proud Nigerian moment may not only be a point in time or an event in Nigeria. It could also describe our unique characteristics, what makes us who we are, what makes us proud Nigerians.
The flag is the symbol of life of a nation state. The statement of the flag reflects the very essence and nature of a people. To understand the significance of the flag of Nigeria would be to dissect the people's DNA, which would reveal what the people are made of. And just like the people of Nigeria, it revealed life.
Ina farin ciki da zama na ɗan Najeriya.
On New York, to see Nigeria. So Nigeria are for.
Lagos Racecourse is the scene, and it's the afternoon of Nigeria's great day, with thousands awaiting the climax and resolved to relish every minute leading up.
In 1960, Nigeria became a nation of her own. It adopted its own laws and decrees. It adopted its own national symbols. It adopted its own flag.
We need to always know that our national symbols, our culture, our art, they have no other role to play than to help direct our society in terms of change, development, and progress.
In 1959, the flag of Nigeria was designed. It was conceived by a Nigerian engineering student resident in London, Michael Taiwo Akinkumi. He submitted his proposal after seeing an advertisement for the national flag competition while reading a Nigerian newspaper.
You could actually look beyond, just the fabric and see the idea and the heart of the persons that designed the flag.
The green, rich, fertile field engulfing the optimism of peace, unity and prosperity for a country which basic future is cultural diversity, can be said to describe the muse that inspired the colors the young Nigerian Akinkumi used in the adaptation of the Nigerian national flag of horizontal sea green and white. Nigeria was independent on the 1st of October 1960, and on the same day, at precisely 12 a.m., Akinkumi's green and white design was run up the flagpole as the country's official flag, replacing the English flag.
When I see the Nigerian flag, it reminds us of the amalgamation process that took us, the North and the South, and brought us together.
Over the years, since after independence, Nigeria has grown from strength to strength. Nigeria has known joy and sadness. Nigerians have been divided through religious and political lines. Though we have been through all this, yet we are one people, one nation.
If despite the challenges that is facing, many nations in the world have faced such challenges and they come out of it. Understand? But so what I'm trying to say, there is hope in Nigeria. Prolong, we are existing, there is hope.
From the north, the east, west and south, the flag of Nigeria is a very powerful symbol we own in common.
Well, the Nigerian flag for the military man is the nation. Wherever it is hosted, that is where his heart lies. In the military palace, wherever we even in terms of hostility, during hostilities. If a member of the Nigerian Armed Forces captures any territory, the first thing you will do to signify is that yes, it is Nigeria that is here, is to hoist the national flag here. So you can see. And the same thing too in the defense of the national flag. The soldier defends the national flag with the last drop of his blood. So it's quite significant because that is the symbol of our national unity, it's the symbol of our strength, it's the symbol that speaks that we are a nation.
The flag of a country flown at any level is the dignity of that country. It's a diplomatic symbol. Once you hoist a flag of Nigeria in any building in America, it is the stamp and the authority of the government of Nigeria.
A symbol of Nigeria, the flag, and every other thing about the Nigerian flag is our unifying factor. It's our identity. It's our sovereignty.
The pride it carries, whether it's two colors, whether it's one color, it carries an identity, and then it carries a sense of belongingness.
This flag tells us so many things about our history. Like the green here in the flag symbolizes our rich land filled with agriculture, our large vegetation, and the white on this Nigerian flag signifies peace and unity, as Nigerians we coexist with peace and harmony. So this flag gives us a message of green land, green vegetation, and peace and unity among the Nigerian citizens.
The green signifies the rich, agricultural, landscape of the country. You can see green vegetation all over the country that we still have, yet unexploited.
Nigeria is a green land. Green not only because of her wealthy fecund land, which reflects her ability to be crowned the food basket of the world, nor is she green only because the soil from her south contains rich black gold, which sadly has bettered more rivers of blood in the region. She is green because curved within her are 36 states, yet untapped natural resources littering 37 locations within her borders. Every single region and state holds her own wealth, some dormant, others in use.
This is an area of a land of opportunities. There are so many opportunities in Nigeria that we have no business leaning on other countries for support, for loan, for this, for that. It's just that they are left untapped.
What brings the vast world together is the spirit of unionism, the strength in our togetherness, the people of Nigeria, and one binding force, the flag of Nigeria.
It reminds us of the promise that we have made for each other, for Nigeria to remain as one. It places us a duty that accepting to take either a political or traditional position as you have taken to serve this country, you must do it with diligence.
Nigerians are a people of plenty and abundance, as the sea green has reflected, but Nigerians are impoverished. Disillusionment is what has followed time and over again after the baton was passed from England to Nigeria.
For instance, there's something terribly wrong. Right from the 70s, it was going wrong bit by bit.
We here, we know they get our rice, but then the boundary say they no sell, they no bring rice again. We dey too sober. If we say we plan our own year, we know for sober. Rice here now 150, 120. Why? I think they don't say they don't change everything. Change. Why something no dey very cheap now?
So many countries don't have the national resources that you have. People are living on coffee alone. Countries are living on cashew alone. I can't count all the mineral resources that we have. And then you're talking about a recession.
On that symbolic piece, however, the country is described to house life and wealth. At the center is the white stripe, which represents peace, but sadly, this is one factor that has eluded Nigeria.
When we say the Nigerian flag is green, white, green, peace and fertility, how do we hold peace as a national symbol when there's no peace in our country? When there's no peace in our homes? No peace between neighbor and neighbor and neighbor.
You see, when there is no peace, there is nothing can be done. When there is no peace, there is no development. So in Hausa, whenever we see it is white, and even our Prophet Muhammad, our leader, one of his best color is white. So whenever we see somebody with white, we accord that respect. That is why in Nigerian flag, that white symbolizes peace and unity.
It seems an insurmountable feat which Nigeria must overcome and sustain to take its rightful place in the world.
Now, productivity can only happen in an atmosphere of peace.
I think we should abide by that and start continuing educating our young ones that peace, that white flag signifies peace. And the more you embrace peace, in your home there will be peace, in your street there will be peace, in your local government there will be peace, and the entire country there will be peace. Because if there is no peace, I and you cannot be seen the way we are sitting. So peace is one of the things, even God himself in the Holy Quran says, where there is no peace, then that place is not suitable for human being to survive. So you see, peace is something we need to embrace and showcase it anywhere. Let's forget about the religious, the ethnicity barrier. You understand? Let's look at that thing that unites us together, which is the flag.
Sadly, the peace is represented in the flag, which would have created not just an ultimate bond, but the economic growth for the nation is now threatened.
Majority of the northerners cannot read Quran and give it full meaning of interpretation. And they allow people who have acquired that knowledge to give them misinterpretation. And that is why you see Boko Haram after quelling it resurfaces. Now, what the government should do, and not only the government, every hand must be on deck. We should go back to our roots. Where am I saying? We in the north, we should make sure our children get the Islamic knowledge the way it's supposed to be. The correct meaning from a rightful teacher.
A major component in an enabling environment obviously is peace and security. That's what will now give rise to everybody deploying their potentials and then leading to the collective productivity of the nation as a whole. So that's the inspiration I get from it, and that's what I think originally the flag was meant to accomplish or to symbolize.
We're practicing democracy. Of course, everybody has got a right to say how he feels towards Nigeria. But the attitude of government also has got a significant role to play in our ability to, see these whites expressed in our national life. My opinion is that government has not led the way, which is not, of course, an excuse. Okay, but we expect that government should live in such a manner that is consistent with peace. Letting us through the path of peace and, of course, that of progress. But where there is hunger, where there is strife, where there is poverty, where there is, agitations, the peace is costly.
The big question remains, how has this productivity reflected in the lives of Nigerians since her independence?
What is more important for us is that Nigeria is not just the biggest in terms of population country in Africa. It's also one of the largest in terms of land mass, land mass with vegetation. We have all kinds of lowlands, highlands, grasslands, forests, savanna. We have all of it. In other words, we're fit to grow every food we want to eat in this country. So the symbol of the flag, of that green in the flag, is not just the color of it, but that what it represents. It represents our capacity, our very unique capacity to grow everything we can eat. But we haven't used it. We have not utilized that symbol at all. So we're yet to actually measure up to the aesthetics of our national identity, the flag. We're yet to do that. We just say green, white, green. It's more than that. It's far deeper. We're yet to appreciate and go by it and be led by it.
The flag, as a national symbol, represents a lot of things to the nation at individual and collective levels. This is expressed in the way the flag is approached and treated. In this case, how is the flag of Nigeria seen and treated?
The Nigerian flag does not just hang there. It is well gazetted, you know, in the Nigerian Gazette. There are also respects that are expected on it. For example, all public buildings are supposed to fly the Nigerian flag. All public buildings. Then for us, by our regimentations, when the flags are lowered at 6 o'clock p.m., that's 1800 hours, okay? Every human being is expected to stand still in honor of the flag as it's being lowered. So also if it is being hoisted, first light, which is also similarly mathematically, we take it to be 0600 a.m. Every person stands in honor of it. Nothing moves, nothing shakes. It's a respect for the flag because it is, Nigeria is rising. And every patriotic Nigerian is expected to honor that flag. Because when the flag flies, it's the country that flies.
You don't fly a tattered flag. Once a flag is worn out, you don't fly it. When you fly, it means you don't have respect. You don't have dignity. You don't show it doesn't show the dignity of the nation. Because one of the symbols, or the importance of these symbols, is the dignity of that nation.
And this is why you see it as if it is the military. Otherwise, even you and any other person out there in the street is supposed to give the same honor because that is the demand of the nation. That is the pride of the nation. Every Nigerian is supposed to honor the flag in the same way.
And you can see like this one is printed. You can see that it's not sewn and joined. When you print it, the green and the white, you see that it's not sewn. That's why we advise that you lower it by 6 p.m. so that you will not be looking for it every time to buy or to produce.
And what does the flag mean to an ordinary Nigerian? Is it just a piece of cloth?
On the issue of this flag has been here for the past 20 years since I started this business. It's all because of the passion I have for Nigeria. No matter what is going on, as in Biafra and Nigeria, but I still believe in Nigeria because of I don't want division. So I believe what should be held sacrosanct is the unity of Nigeria.
What I know about the flag is about the year 1960 for our independence. That is the year that we have the freedom. And the flag stands for agriculture and peace.
And I'm very much proud of the flag. Because at any given time I see it, I feel happy. I feel we are united, especially here I'm a settler in Cross River State. And I'm living in peace with different tribes of Cross Riverian people and Nigerian people in general.
Economic challenges and leadership insensitivity have been identified by some as the reasons the average Nigerian does not recognize the significance and values of the flag, nor do they see it as an emblem of hope.
This is very unique something. It means peace and unity in my country. This is what to know that I'm in Nigeria. So, but the way things are going, we are very discouraged.
It's Nigerian national flag. It's my national flag indeed. But let's make this thing so that when someone else sees this thing, we know that yes, it's a giant of Africa still maintained. Because Nigerian economic of today is not like before. Before men and women they're eating and they're throwing food. But today, it's only tears flowing everywhere in this nation. So it's for us, unless our government do something.
My hope is that our elders will help us to build Nigeria up again.
The average Nigerian is more interested in getting his basic supply than even those amenities that the said leadership ought to provide. With her ability to be among the top food distributors of the world and generate wealth, it seems this wealth is only for a selected few.
We need to have a dream that makes everyone equal to another. By so doing, we make each individual citizen to know that he or she is cared for by the state. And the moment someone feels cared for by the state, the person does nothing but also tries to give back in a way.
I find it difficult to rationalize how anybody can demand patriotism in an environment where basic needs are not met.
You know, you can imagine you have children. Your duty as a parent is to provide shelter, school, food, health, security for that child, right? So when you fail to provide housing, fail to provide food, fail to provide water, fail to provide education, why should that child respect you and be loyal to you? There's no reason on earth.
We have had issues where our country never rose up in defense of our people. They've been in the media, we heard it.
When people die for Nigeria, if they are military men or they are policemen, if they get killed by armed robbers, or military men get killed by Boko Haram, and nothing is done to take care of their loved ones, the loved ones that they left behind, it dampens the desire for anybody to ever want to do anything more. When such things as the bare necessities are not provided for, and crime begins to skyrocket.
We've had cases of where one man loots this nation to the extent that it's so embarrassing to talk about publicly. Nothing is done, and the young ones are hearing, they are seeing. Look, we teach by examples.
So, you know, it's more or less like a charge and a wake-up call to our political leadership to understand why they are in power today, to make issues better for people, both the political leadership and even spiritual leadership, all forms of leadership. The essence of power is to dispense justice, ensure that there's equity, and not make sure or not sit down on a status quo that ensures that the few benefits to the detriment of the many. And I think that's the challenge we have in Nigeria. We need a paradigm shift from the leadership, we need a paradigm shift on our part as citizens and masses. And then eventually we can get the country that we desire. It's our problem, like a friend of mine said, and we can fix it if we understand it.
Whereas at the time the flag was hoisted, it was set as a national symbol, reminding us of the fight for freedom and actualization of liberation through the struggle and fight of our heroes past.
Come to the United Kingdom as delegates of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, chosen by our people, in order to demand for a more democratic constitution, to modify 4 laws affecting our lands, minerals and chiefs, and to request the British government to grant us more political responsibility to enable us to take an active part in the management of our affairs within the framework of the British.
Even though we are so, divided, separated as the fingers, but Nigerian nationalists, fought as one as the hand. They fought as one. They buried their hatchets and obtained independence. If we begin to see Nigeria from that point of view, we want to discard our different ethnic feelings.
When Nigeria was amalgamated and when we had our independence, you can see the way we live. Nigerians will so live like the liver and the blood, inseparable. Can you separate them? You cannot. But come to these days, we allow politicians to come and put our heads together. You are from here, you're supposed to do this, and that is why we are having that crisis. For me, the average Nigerian, we've lost that patriotism in us. And that is why we're having this crisis of religious and ethnicity. To bring back that hope, we should go back to our lawmakers. In Nigerian constitution, there is a saying, when you reside in a particular for 15 years, automatically you become the indigenous of that place. But it is not domesticable.
Once Nigeria see themselves and know what they should do, without bias to where people comes from, then development will come up.
the people of Nigeria should utilize their differences. Yes, we are different people, but that gives us the comparative advantage. That difference makes us unique and strong.
Unfortunately, we live in a Nigeria where ethnic nationalism is higher, is placed on a higher pedestal than national patriotism. Ethnic nationalism, affinities or our allegiances to our affinities, tribal affinities, as against our allegiance to the construct called Nigeria. And that's part of the problem we have. Everybody should actually believe in Nigeria. And that's the truth of the matter, if not for any reason, but for the mere fact that there is no reasonable change that can occur without optimism.
And well, people think that having multiple ethnicities is a problem, but it's not. Because we need to find our strength in diversity. There's a lot of strength in diversity, I tell you. If you take concrete, concrete is not just cement. It's an aggregate, right? There's cement, there's sand, there's gravel, and other additives. So there's multiple kinds of ingredients coming together to give concrete its strength. So we need to find that kind of strength. We should stop thinking that cement alone makes concrete or gravel alone makes concrete. So all the multiple ethnicities, about 250 lingual groups in Nigeria, that's us. We should find strength in that.
We need to create the Nigerian dream by building the next generation who has imbibed a strong value system. The older generation needs to imprint the vision of what Nigeria can be, the hopes and the dreams of this great nation.
The truth is, what have we taught the younger generation? What have we passed on to them? And if I may talk about the mass unemployment of our youth, until we get to the point where I retired at my right time, because I knew some graduates are there who are looking for jobs. If you don't retire when you're due, there will be no vacancy to employ the next generation. Until a particular generation in this country knows that leaving office is honorable, so that the younger ones can come into positions of authority and responsibility. Why should I be doing the job that my children should be doing at age 60, 70, 80, when at 25, 30 they should have taken over? How do I get that child to love, respect, and honor the sovereignty of this nation, or with passion in their heart be ready to lay down their lives for the flag of this nation? It's a difficult job.
What if the people of Nigeria understood that the flag of Nigeria resonates who we are? Would such knowledge influence their attitude to their nation through the appreciation of her flag? Would it brew the zeal to flaunt her flag and sing the pledge with passion and pride? How do we begin to preach the gospel of peace and productivity to a people that have taken to arms to express their grievances towards institutions?
I would say, if we are to look at Nigeria with the physical eyes that we are all seeing what we see every day and what we hear at the news, it will be a difficult thing. So I'll be saying, join me and see Nigeria in the spiritual. What is God's heartbeat for this nation? There is a glorious future for Nigeria. I know not everybody, but for a few who can dream, who can visualize, dream big, I know that a change is coming to this nation. Not the change everybody is talking about. I'm talking about a spiritual change that will blow through this nation. But my advice or my cry is, can the younger generation be ready? Just get ready to take over, so that when there are vacancies, you are qualified to take over.
However, how well is the school curriculum internalizing the words of the pledge? Our oath of allegiance to one another, to impact the lives of these young ones? Many agree that catching them young will do the nation a lot of good in fostering peace.
I hope and I believe that these symbols are still being taught with the same values and passion that we were taught when we were growing up.
Might reorientation of our national symbols and the struggles of her heroes past be a solution to all her problems?
Policy formulators and curriculum developers have not deemed it necessary to begin to teach us the pride inherent in national symbols.
Civic education is one of the things that the office have ensured that the federal government brings back to schools, so that through this they teach the children symbols, teach them patriotism, teach them commitment.
We have a responsibility to begin to inculcate this at the lower level of the children, so that they begin to learn, they begin to understand, they begin to appreciate what the national symbols are all about.
Teach your baby children in the house about their nation. Teach them. Let every family fly a Nigerian flag in their house. If you have a Nigerian flag in your house, the children will ask you, why do we have a flag? Then the story begins. Then the teaching begins. Then the indoctrination begins. And that child will grow up to say, wow, you know, this is who I am.
Once that is grounded, the children will carry that up in the tertiary institutions where they are, and they will live with it, and they will respect the national flag, the national symbols. And so that's the orientation we need.
Today, Nigeria must arise to redeem herself, to find strength again to be renewed.
I want to encourage youth, encourage young people and old people, every person, to think like John Kennedy would say, more about what we can do for our country as against what our country can do for us.
By that little thing, we can contribute in our own little quarter to develop the country.
We need to change as individuals. We need to change as families. We need to have this message, preached in all our churches and our mosques, that all we need is show respect and some level of dignity.
So I'm asking the church to please help us talk about the good things of Nigeria. Train their people to know that church takes care of the nation. And if the church goes out to take care of the nation will prosper. After the Bible says, and the government shall be upon her shoulder. Who is this shoulder? The church.
Today, the flag might just be again a sign of hope and a call to protect what we have together as a nation, to express love and passion towards the motherland, a call to remain patriotic.
Find people in Syria, still find people in Democratic Republic of Congo. I mean, these are war-torn areas. Still lift up their flag. Yeah, what does that simply reveal? That I still believe in this entity. I still have confidence in this entity. I still, have, undivided loyalty, to this entity.
As a Nigerian, find something to love Nigeria for. Find something to live for. Find something to dream about.
So we must continue to see ourselves, even if we are in small groups, as future leaders, as people that have that dream, the Nigerian dream of being somewhere up there and having hope with a lot of commitments of surmounting those challenges that just come with time. Let us hope for the future and work for the future.
Our parents, whom in 1960 had seen before this time, had seen the Union Jack, which was the flag which the colonial masters, the British, were flying. And then as at independence, 1st of October 1960, the Union Jack was withdrawn and the Nigerian flag was flown. That was the first time, 1st October 1960, that the Nigerian flag was flown. It is dear to them. They understand it. They know the concepts because they have imbibed it. But they try to pass it to us. Like every other thing, we water everything down. But we do hope that it gives me pleasure, and you can see me talking with joy, and I radiate in it because it's you younger ones who are coming to talk about the flag. That means there is hope.
We look at where we have come from, we look at where we are, and we look at where we are headed. One thing we need is hope to move. The hope of our national flag and the hope our national flag embodies.
We love our country. We cannot have any other country apart from Nigeria. Nigeria is our home. We just believe that there will be hope in the future. And we are the future, so we start now to make things right.
There's a lot of hope, especially with the upcoming ones. I believe in Nigeria.
I loved Nigeria. That is Cross River State, Akampa, Nkot, Nigeria.
I hope there now, so far where our life is going on. There's hope in the future.
Like the president will always say, our present president say that change begins with us.
Things will change. It took God one night to change the destiny of Israel and bring her out from the land of slavery. And I know God is going to pass through this land one night, and He will do things that people cannot understand, and the change will come.
Many hold a strong sense of passion for this nation, even though that passion has been beaten down and almost buried. All they need, it seems, is a little nudge, a reminder. We see it in our proud Nigerian moments. Let's not forget what makes us who we are. Indeed, we are a people of diversity, a people of many tongues, a people of color and variety. We are a people of community. We are a people bursting forth with life. We look up once again to the flag as a symbol of hope, sharing in it the story of hope and victory, rekindling the spirits of patriotism, reminding every Nigerian that Nigeria is worth the try. Nigeria, arise. Nigeria, look up. Green, white, green, the pride and glory of Nigeria.